Yeah, so this is another twin flame one about like mastery of the twin flame dynamic. And by no means am I a master yet, but I know like the steps and part of the process, and I can see what lays out ahead of me, if that makes sense. But yeah, let's get into it. So first of all is mastering the mind, which is, I mean, obviously the goal of everyone, is to master the mind. And more, even more, first of all, before that, even is mastering your emotions. Like, if you, at least something that I struggled with, that was just another part of the growth that I've been going through, is self love and love for my twin flame, and like doubting that and doubting my ability to do that. And that's where that mastery comes in, and it just takes divine belief, like I talked about before, and also putting in the work, getting up early, and really changing. If you want to change, then change, and um, there's so many things that you can do just in one day. Like I said, by dropping all of your addictions, like waking up early, switching your mindset to being like a go-getter, and emanating those love emotions and the happiness frequencies, and training your mind to be in the moment. That'll allow for that, the highest amount of growth possible, right, with your twin flame. Early on, when I first recognized what was happening with us, I was meditating and I got into a really deep state. And right as I came out of it, I was told, like, a voice came into my head and it said, never ever give up. And um, that's like a lot of the growth that I've had to experience with him, is like letting him go for periods of time, and with no expectation, but kind of the knowing inside that he was my twin and he would always come back. And like, we're destined to be together, but these growth periods, or of like release, learning to release and still have unconditional love for that person. um, that's like what I'm growing through, going through and growing through. But yeah, it's happened so many times where, and like early on when I got back from India the second time, he just wanted to be a hookup, and I felt like, or I had to go through the period of like doing that, because I was thinking, oh well, it's out of service to him, that if he just wants me to be a hookup right now, then that's fine, and maybe later down the road we can have something better. But I also had to realize that on a deeper level, he doesn't want that, and I don't, because I don't want that, and because our higher selves want us to be firmly together. Then I had to like lay down the law, not lay down the law, but express my own feelings about it. And kind of like when I allowed for myself to be put into that position, it kind of took my own power away from me, of this, in that kind of sense, where it was all given to him instead of it being a balanced relationship that went both ways. And I've felt, in the past, like there was this one of the times that we stopped talking to one another. I was like, I'm not going to be a hookup anymore. I can't talk to you anymore. And then just like kind of said that. And then like 2 days later, he messaged me and was like, I love you. So like that is another important thing about it, is like you have to love yourself more than you love that person, but at the same time, loving yourself is loving that person, if that makes sense. It's kind of a weird thing, because it's like your higher self in another body. And so you have to be growing and loving yourself, and maturing, to be able to fully take advantage of this learning opportunity, and be able to keep doing that, and without giving up, to be able to succeed in the end and make the perfect relationship that you want, you know. And another part about it and why we've been going so slow is just because I have been struggling with that doubt, you know, and uh, like I don't know, I've had a lot of like past trauma stuff come up, and that's kind of interfered with it. But every time that I'm in a frequency, or like when I love and I am in that knowing frequency, you know, then it all works out, and it's just a matter of getting there and persevering. And like I watched this one channeler talk about how um, I think it might have been like Jesus channeling or Yeshua channeling, but he talks about how at the end of the road, the people who get there last are going to be just as much rewarded as the people that get there first, you know? So in that regard, that there's no rush, and everybody's on their own spiritual individualized spiritual journey, and everybody's progressing, you know. And I think I put a lot of pressure on myself to like be perfect right now, you know, but that's not really how it works. It's like you get taught a lesson, and then um, if you can't hold on to that, or if you can't ascend and continue to with that mastery of that lesson, then you get sent back like a level. And like Phil Good talks about this, and it's definitely true. Like you go up a few steps, and then you go down one step, or you go down two steps, or you go up five, you go down six, and then you go down, or you go up four and back down, or whatever. And then, but it's a general progression. It's like Phil Good says it's like turbulence almost as you're in an airplane, you go off the runway. Um, yeah, but let's see. Yeah, lack of expectation is definitely another really big one. Like like I said, when we were in like that hookup phase, I was kind of expecting him to turn like just all of a sudden be like, hey, let's start dating again or whatever. And I was expecting that. And it never really panned out because I was always expecting that and not being in the moment, you know. And that's another a big part of a twin flame thing is like, I've definitely gotten into the mode. I'm still struggling with it where I feel like I'm relying on him and his energy to guide me too much, you know, where I don't really become an individual anymore, and that's also a dangerous thing, I think. And like you get too attached to that relationship, whereas you just like the main objective is to grow yourself and be present. And by being present, you're not thinking about the past or the future. You're just thinking about the now, what's happening now. Like I'm thinking about talking and but he's all I'm also thinking about him too because I'm talking about him. But like when you're going out through your daily life, the the lack of expectation comes automatically through being in the moment, if that makes sense. And that's like a lot of the channelings that I've listened to have said like that's one of the keys to manifestation, and manifesting your own reality is not expecting anything. And I think a lot of people probably overthink that, but all it is really just being present and being in the moment. And then you don't think about anything in the future, and you don't think about anything in the past. So it kind of just works out like that. Um, um, yeah. So all of that mastery of the mind is definitely like a huge, huge part of it. But another thing is like abundance. And I think like the yogis in India talked about how, and the Buddhists, you know, they talk about lack of or giving up all your worldly possessions and stuff. And I think we're starting because this shift is so dramatic. We're starting to move away from that, and we're starting to like the true goal is like enlightenment with abundance, you know. And again, that twin flame aspect of you is going to lead you into your highest possible growth, you know. And I remember months ago, like when it was snowing here in Colorado, probably like eight or 9 months ago, like in January or so. But I had like epiphany moment night, and I was on my way back driving home. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna accept, and I was like fully diving into the whole concept of the highest possible growth with the twin flame. I was like, all right, I'm not gonna accept anything less than like an angelic or godlike relationship between us, you know. And since then, that's what it's been. It's been like I do need to be working towards perfection. It's not like necessary, but like it's possible, and that's where he's leading me and where I'm trying to get to, you know. And what I was saying with the abundance is like, if you want to get to that highest possible lifetime or life timeline, you know, that's going to be like enlightenment, being in pure bliss charged love all the time, and also manifesting abundance and manifesting the reality of the job that you want to be in, and doing all of that simultaneously, you know. It's pretty hard right now just because like it's a lot to think about, and I guess that's the objective, is to not think about it, and then it'll come, you know. But yeah, so most of all, most important, just being in the moment and having goals, um, to expand your consciousness, and then that's what attracts your twin flame, and that's what leads you through the journey of having a twin flame. Thanks, guys. Like and subscribe.